Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I've got a box for you today. I'm trying to alternate my videos between cards and boxes just to try and mix it up a bit. And this is pretty much a prototype. I started just playing about with sizes and dimensions and different types of DSP. So I always get a relatively plain piece of card out when I'm starting to muck about with things and test things out. But I put on top of that the Mosaic Mood DSP and I fussy cut a hummingbird that was on that. And then what I made that box for, because I was been clearing out my daughter's bedrooms. I've got two daughters and a son. One daughter's moving out, the other daughter is moving into her room, and then my son's moving back in and moving into my youngest bedroom. So it's all a bit to-ing and fro-ing at the moment. But what I did find was probably an unwanted birthday or Christmas present of 3 body mousses. So I thought, well, I'm going to turn that into a gift box. So there we've got it. So I just measured it across. So it was just under 3.5 inches. So I made the base of the box 3.5 inches, and then I made the lid just slightly bigger like that. I did have it put together with twine. The problem was this is take 2 of this video, because instead of scoring my card, I cut the card, so then I had to start again. But I did have this secured with twine. But there we go, that's what happens when you're trying to make videos. For this card, I'm going to use Mint Macaron cardstock. I've got a little bit of Very Vanilla going on in here as well. And I'm using the Bird Ballad DSP. I think this is so pretty, and it's a really versatile set of designer series paper because there's so many colours in it. It's got lots of yellows in there and pinks and blues and browns. It's got feather design, bird design. We've got these beautiful pretty flowers. It's got a bit of everything in it. It appeals to everybody. Really bright colours. I'm going to start with my cardstock first. So I've got 2 pieces. So for the base of my box, I've got a piece of card that measures 7 inches by 7 inches. Just going to check the measurement of that. Yep. And then my second, slightly smaller piece of card measures 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. So they're both square pieces of paper. So the bigger one for the base of my box, the smaller one for the lid of my box. And I'll decorate the lid before I start putting it together. So start with the bigger piece. Now I'm going to leave my trimmer to one side. I do use that for scoring, but that just got me into trouble just now because I ended up trimming the paper rather than scoring it. So here's our beast of a scoreboard. So starting with the larger piece, I'm going to score this, just get my measurements, make sure I've got these right, at 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to turn that 90 degrees and do exactly the same. So 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So we've got that. Then the smaller piece of card, so the one that measures 5/8 of an inch square, we're going to score that on each side at 1 inch and 4 5/8. Turn it and do the same again, 1 inch and 4 5/8. That's the only scoring that you need to do. Let's just put that to one side. So I'll start with the base first. I'm going to fold and burnish those score lines, and then we're going to start cutting and forming some tabs so that we can put this together. So it doesn't matter what side, obviously it's square, so I'm just going to start here. And what I'm going to do is, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I've lost my snips. I still can't find them. We're going to cut up here and here, so just up to the first score line. And these outside squares, I'm going to turn them into tabs. So with that flap there like that, I'm just going to wedge into that there like that, and the same there. And then you're going to do the same with one on the other side. going to, where I've scored there, just going to trim that off. Otherwise it might not fold properly. So, and then just the same with that one as well. And then you're going to turn the box around, turn the base around, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. So cut up to the first score line. Or if I had my snips, this would be so much easier. I could be more precise. And then again, wedge those two. So what you're doing there is forming tabs to then put the box together. And they don't need to be straight, no particular measurement, because you're not going to see these. These are going to be on the inside of the box. Now at that point, if you wanted to, purely optional, you could decorate the inside of your box. Maybe with a piece of, just with another piece of DSP. I'm not going to do that, but that's optional if you wanted to. So that's the inside of the base. I want to now be on the outside of the base. And I'm just going to put some tear and tape right along those score lines there on each of those tabs. If you get it on the score line, it's going to prevent your box from falling apart, because as soon as you've got a little bit of a gap between the score line and the other edge of your card, then it might cause the box to kind of get caught, the seam of the box get caught, and then eventually rip and fall apart. So just get those bits on there, and then we're going to form the base of our box. So I need my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to remove the backing paper of all of these. Just while I'm doing this, this is day 17 of the 31 days craft challenge that I'm taking part in. I can't believe I've got to day 17, and I'm, quite proud of how I've managed to get to day 17. I've managed to film 15 videos in the last 17 days, and I have done a blog post for the last 7 days. Please come along and visit my blog. It's got all the instructions to all of the tutorials that I've done, and feel free to take part and start making, perhaps doing your take on some of the things that I've made. So what I'm going to do with each of these tabs, you're going to take the edge there, this edge, and you're going to fold that inwards, and that edge is going to meet that score line. And then you want to get that as close. That's not going to work. Trouble is, my eyesight is just beyond shocking. It's difficult for me to see. And then just press that down. You're going to do the same with the other one. Fold it in. Score line meets edge. Just press that down like that. Do the same on the other side. Try and keep this in there, because if it ends up falling outside, it's then difficult to put together. So raw edge meets folded edge. Press that down, and then raw edge meets folded edge. So that is our base. And the great thing about Stampin' Up! Cards is it's really robust. That's nice, and that's not going anywhere. So I then need my smaller piece of cardstock, which I've put down, and then we're going to score that. I have put that down. So, piece of card been found, and we're going to do exactly the same as what we did with the larger piece of cardstock. So I'm going to form my tabs, but before I put the box together, I'm going to decorate it. So let's just do this again. Form my tabs just as we did with the base. So the reason I'm so pleased with myself for getting to 17 days, there are a couple of reasons. One, I am a champion procrastinator. And often when I need to get stuff done, I don't get stuff done, and I tend to ignore it, tend to put my head in the sand and completely ignore really important stuff as well that needs doing. It's, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do that tomorrow. So I thought I would be the same with this, but I've actually stuck at it, and I will be seriously celebrating if I get to 31 days. The other thing as well is that I work full time, and it takes up a lot of my spare time. I'm a teacher and I spend a lot of time prepping lessons and marking work, and it takes up a lot of my spare time. So to be able to find the time to craft, film and blog almost every day, I haven't filmed every day, but almost every day, but certainly a blog post going out every day has been pretty good going for me, and it's been a test of my to wave goodbye to procrastination and just get stuff done. Easier said than done sometimes. Right, I'll trim that bit off in a minute. So I'm just putting tear and tape on each of these tabs. I probably just could have got away with a piece on the scoreline, but this just makes sure that it's all held together. Let's just trim that bit off there because that's going to bug me. So what I want to do, this is the top, and I want to glue a piece of DSP there and on each of all of these sides as well. Now this piece of DSP measures, what does that measure? 3.5 inches square. I had to think then. Yep, 3.5 inches square, and then you need 4 of these, and these measure 7/8 of an inch by 3.5 inches. And I'm going to use wet glue to put that together, just so that I can position the paper accurately. Now, when I made the other box, I put the paper on after I formed the lid, and that wasn't ideal. All of the details of the products will be on my blog. Also on my blog, you'll see details of a hostess code. So if you go to the front of my blog, you'll see details of a hostess code. If you can't find it, just drop me an email. I pick up my emails every day, all day. Get notifications to my phone as soon as an email pops in. So if you want to find out the hostess code, just drop me an email and I'll let you have that. And then any purchases that you make, I get notified of them. And then I can send you on just a little freebie thank you gift for ordering with me. We're also in celebration period at the moment as well. So for every £45 that you spend, you earn a level 1 reward, and for every £90 that you spend, you earn a level 2 reward. And you can then claim those rewards from the celebration catalogue. I've left a link to my shop in the description bar. All you've got to do is just visit the shop, click on shop now, and away you go, and have a look, a really good browse around all of our products. So just while that's drying, I've got to be careful with that, but it does set quite quickly, the liquid glue. I'm just going to lift all of this backing tape. That one doesn't want to move. Come on. I don't know if you can hear that over the video. That's my daughter's television making all of that row. Watching some car crash television, no doubt. So we've taken those off, and we're going to do exactly the same as we've done before. We're going to take the tab, fold it in, and then you're going to meet the raw edge with the scored edge. So with the lid, I've not made that, so the box, the depth of that was 1 3/4, but I made this slightly shallower. So this is just 1 inch for this one. The other one was 1 3/4 inches. So I wanted to be able to see the base of the box. So you're just going to push those tabs in like that. And that now has formed our lid. Like that, nice and straightforward. It's almost like really you're making 2 boxes, one slightly bigger than the other, so the lid is slightly bigger than the other, and that fits nicely on there like that. So I'm going to put my what's it called, a body souffle. I'm going to put that in there like that. Now the next thing I want to do, I've got some twine. This is very vanilla twine, but you could use any colour you like. The blue would look very nice on there, but it's up to you. And I just want to get, I've not cut that off, so I've left a bit of a length of that here, just so that it will tie underneath. I'm just holding that down with my thumb, and then what I'm going to do is just wrap that around. And getting it started is proving a bit difficult. So I just want to do a few of those. Like that. And then at the bottom, I'm just going to tie it off. So nobody can see this bottom bit, which is a good job, because I can't tie knots or bows to save my life. So we've got that just like that. I'm just trying to make that a bit random. Could have looked a bit better than that. So we've got that, but I want to put a sentiment on it. So I've stamped this off camera just because I don't want the video to be too long. I've got the Beautiful Day stamp set. Now I had this on my, sorry, the light does make it go a bit funny. I had the Beautiful Day stamp set on my shelf for ages, and I thought this must have retired, but it hasn't. It is still going. And I love this stamp set. And what I've done is I've stamped the happy birthday, may your day be as beautiful as you. And I've just stamped that using Memento ink onto a piece of very vanilla cardstock. And I just want to put that on there like that. And I'm going to hold that down with my favourite adhesive. And you know, if you watch me regularly, you know that this is my favourite adhesive. I don't really use much else. And I've got slightly more generous with them now because my crafting friends absolutely make fun of me for my frugalness with using dimensionals. So I just want to put one there and one there like that. Let's take the backing off of those because my nails don't like to take the back off of them. Come on, off you come. There we go. And then I just want to put that on there like that. And I think that's just missing one more thing, which I've got on my desk somewhere. If it's not on my desk, then it's in my, what I call my embellishment drawer. And we've got our good old rhinestones. I'm just going to take one of those off and put that there, just to make it a little bit more pretty. You can never have too much bling. And there we go, a really pretty box using the Bird Ballad DSP, a very basic standard box making tutorial, and you can make that to any size you like. All I've done is just measured the width or the diameter of the body butter or souffle, whatever you want to call it, in the box, and then just built it around that. And this lid is 1/8 of an inch bigger than the box. You might want to try that at 1/16 of an inch, but it just then makes the measurements really tricky. I've gone for 1/8 of an inch there, and that works absolutely perfectly well. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Come along and have a look at my shop and all the beautiful products that we've got on sale at the moment. And I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye.